The heavy courtroom doors creaked as they opened, drawing a few glances from people seated on the hard wooden benches. Among them walked a black woman in a tailored navy suit, her head held high, expression calm, yet focused. Her name was Dr. Amara Bell, a soft-spoken constitutional lawyer and community organizer known only in the quiet corners of policy rooms and legal clinics. Today, she was just another citizen attending a civil hearing for a local eviction case in a city plagued by housing inequality. Or so everyone thought. She sat near the back, discreet and poised, taking notes in a small leather-bound notebook. That's when it happened. A white court officer, middle-aged, uniform crisp, gaze sharp, walked toward her. His boots clicked on the marble floor as he approached with authority. Without introducing himself, he leaned down and said in a firm voice, "I'm going to need you to leave. This isn't your case. You're not allowed here." Amara looked up, confused but calm. "This is a public hearing. I have every right to be here." He scoffed. "You heard me. Out. Now." Heads turned. A few whispered. Others watched in awkward silence. Her tone remained steady. "Please explain the grounds on which you're asking me to leave." But he didn't answer. Instead, he reached for her arm. A woman in the front gasped. Amara stood before he could touch her, voice low but unshaken. "That won't be necessary." She pulled out her phone, not to record, not to argue, but to send a brief message. Less than 2 minutes passed. Then, everything changed. His radio crackled to life. "Unit 4, do not proceed. Step back. The individual you're speaking with is cleared through federal credentials. Stand down immediately." The officer froze, color draining from his face. Moments later, a call came through to the judge's chambers, from the White House Office of Public Engagement. The courtroom fell into an eerie silence. The presiding judge, baffled, paused proceedings and requested a brief recess. Word traveled quickly, Dr. Amara Bell wasn't just a citizen. She was a civil rights advisor consulting on housing policy for the current administration. She had arrived quietly to observe and report back directly to D.C. on real, on-the-ground cases of housing injustice. But the story doesn't end there. This moment, captured quietly on phones and shared on social media without her knowledge, went viral. Not because of her status, but because of her composure. Overnight, the video became a symbol of quiet strength. Not because she yelled. Not because she fought back with rage. But because she stood tall in the face of humiliation, and the world saw it. In the days that followed, Amara received an outpouring of messages from young black girls who saw themselves in her. Law students who had nearly given up, single mothers fighting eviction, and even public defenders worn thin by a broken system. Yet Amara didn't gloat. She didn't call for the officer to be fired. Instead, she requested a private meeting with him, and he accepted. The encounter was off camera, away from the crowd. There, she told him about the years she spent being underestimated, overlooked, told she was too quiet or too soft-spoken to lead change. She told him about her parents, both janitors, who worked double shifts so she could go to law school. She told him that his mistake wasn't just personal, it was systemic. And that real change starts not in the courtroom, but in the mind. The officer, once defensive, wept. He apologized. The court later announced mandatory racial bias and de-escalation training for all its officers, and Amara was invited to speak at the city's largest legal conference, where she shared her story, not of shame, but of grace. By the end of the video, Amara's voice narrates a final message. Dignity doesn't need volume. Change doesn't require anger. Sometimes, the most powerful protest is showing up, knowing who you are, even when the world doesn't.